Welcome back, everyone. So today I was able to get together with a really fantastic dog trainer local in my area, Miss Peggy Demaine, and I was really excited to be able to do the first ever Tea with the Treat Fairy, and I couldn't have picked a better culinary person to sit down and share a meal and share a discussion and really just talk about all sorts of things, from music to makeup to boys to video games. We legitimately covered it all, and I think it was really profound that the first person I was ever able to do this segment with really just wanted to sit down and talk with me about everything, about life, about skills, about hobbies. It was just absolutely beautiful. So I want to thank you all for coming here, and hopefully you enjoy this discussion that we had while we were eating and prepping for lunch this afternoon.
Grafton, Smith.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. My mother lives in Vermont, and whenever my husband goes up or we go up to see her, we drive through Brattleboro and stop at the Grafton Cheese Factory.
Brattleboro, first exit in Vermont. If anyone doesn't know, you just get on the 91 and you go north.
Go, baby.
And it's the first exit. They have.
Actually, this is off of exit 3.
Oh, so you're up near
further.
South Newfane.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm very familiar with the area.
My mother lives in Brookline.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that house will eventually be mine.
That's
God
awesome.
help me when she does. Would you prefer the cheddar? Or...
Anything you want to do, however you want to make it.
Darling, I'm setting you up.
You make it yours. Yeah, exactly. That's the fun of this, is just a couple still shots, if you don't mind.
Of course.
And yeah, this video is rolling, but that's okay. I pick and
this is the best cheese.
And we have to point out that there's a dog nose, like, just
right
here. Yeah.
And you'll notice she's still being polite. She
keeps
her nose. She's got to see everything. If I say, "What's this?" she backs right up.
Mm-hmm. That's so cute, though.
She's too freaking adorable. Now
But it's a dog being happy and a dog in your house, you know?
What I do, instead of putting it under the broiler to melt the cheese, because most places the restaurants will pour the soup, crouton, the cheese, and then under the broiler, under the salamander, I let the soup do the melting. Okay.
So you don't do
the flavor.
Yeah. And I wish you guys could, like, smell this, though. Like, this is crazy. And we have to point out that this is French onion soup.
Classic
French onion.
A combination of both chicken and beef, because it's got olive oil and butter, and I use real ingredients.
I love the color, though, the consistency. It's all beautiful.
Actually, I did not add as much onion as I usually do. I only put in 3 onions instead of 5.
Now, what kind of onion do you prefer?
Vidalia.
You do prefer the Vidalia, the sweets over the...
Yes, definitely.
Okay, very good.
Every now and then I'll add red onion to it, just to give it a
red onion, yep.
Just to give it a little different zing. But as you can see, this broth is very rich.
Well, and it doesn't, the red onions don't cook down as much as the other ones.
Like I said, they stay crisp.
Yeah.
And I always use a Moscato of some kind or a Pinot Grigio.
Okay.
Because I do not like the sharpness of the sherry.
Right, but you like to keep it buttery. You like to keep it light. That's awesome.
It's a different flavor. I'm pretty sure you will enjoy the daylights out of this. So, if you would like to take a seat. Of course, I get the big spoons out. Enough, Bomber.
I'm so excited. Thank you very much for having us for lunch.
Thank you. Back up.
And we're going to dive in. Oh, the crouton is nice and...
Yeah, it's all melted in already. The cheese is melted.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy.
Holy crap.
The chef appreciates the compliment.
This is really good. This is really good.
This is a recipe that I got when I was at Bullard Havens as a culinary arts student. This is one of the things that got me an A all across the board graduated with high honors.
So you like food?
Obviously, I don't miss many meals.
I don't want to make assumptions. You also told me you're diabetic, so...
Was. I am no longer a diabetic. I lost 40 pounds and the doctor took me off the medication because my body re-regulated itself.
And we have no worries about that anymore.
Absolutely none. I still treat myself as a borderline diabetic, diet controlled, and I still watch my intake.
Just because.
But there it is. I was able to beat that. It's like, yes.
So, have you ever like explored into like nose work or even any of like the diabetic like detection dogs or anything like that? Was that ever anything that you kind of thought about or considered?
Not anything I really considered, although I do work with hounds. Hounds are my favorite, and the scent hounds most of all. I find that working with scent hounds, it's so subtle.
Right.
That it's very hard. And as a person, I don't really have the training to know what scent they should be looking for.
Right.
So it's hard for me to teach that. However, most of my dogs that I've worked with in the past, I make a point of saying, do nose work, do games with your dog. So, you remember Granddad holding the quarter? Which hand do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
I do that with my
the
dogs.
AB, yep.
I do that with my dogs, and I teach the people to use their hands this way and say, this one first, and then you have the choice of both.
Did you learn this in ABC?
No.
Really?
No.
It was in my curriculum.
Michelle taught me that actually before. Excuse me, little one has to go out. He does his dance.
Oh my goodness, that is so cute. He's spinning in circles.
And if you don't catch it quick, he will go elsewhere. He is not particular.
I feel the pain.
Lyra is just the opposite. She will ring the bell. Every time. She's very good about ringing the bell.
That's good.
And what's funny is if I'm in here in the kitchen and she wants me to go in the living room because it's nice and warm in there with the wood-burning stove, she will ring the bell and look at me and then turn around and walk in the living room. So who has her trained?
I've always thought that, you know, it's not necessarily that we need to train the dog, but we need to learn to communicate both ways with the dog. So if that's her way of getting your attention and she knows she can get your attention that way, it's not necessarily that you were trained, it's that she found a way to communicate with you that you understood.
Right. It's making that connection, and that light bulb moment is so crucial. People will have the light bulb moment and not realize that they've had it.
Yeah.
And then the dog looks at you like you're dumb. Because you didn't understand what you just did.
Yeah.
You know? But I find that most dogs, in making the connection, I make connections more with scent.
Yeah.
Since when they're born, nose is open first. Nose, eyes, ears. So when you have a dog that's hypersensitive to sound, like my little rascal, getting his attention with his nose slaps that off.
Right.
You know?
I would almost say, and like this is just, you know, a little bit of a professional, like, I would almost say that scent work with clicker with someone that's extremely audible might actually be like a godsend, because you can literally break them out of whatever is distracting them, but then you're using two of their primary senses and you're rewarding them both at the same time.
Another thing I teach is basic. It's almost ASL with my dogs, because if
do you have ASL? Like, do you?
I have.
I was gonna say, do you speak ASL? But that
actually I do. Yes, I can actually honestly say.
You can sign.
I can sign. Not well. I used to be much better at it when I was in high school. One of my girlfriends was 3/4 deaf.
Oh wow.
And she and I would sit in the back of the classroom, and she couldn't understand what was going on, so I would fingerspell to her to get her the information. And quite a lot of what we would be doing is this sign.
Yeah.
In the back of the classroom, because the teacher was teaching
bullshit.
Exactly. But so with the dogs, I find that if I'm talking and I'm holding a class or I'm communicating with somebody, if I'm talking on the phone, and the little one will start barking, if I put my hand and just point at the floor, he will come and sit right under my fingers, because he wants to be touched. Once he's touched, he shuts off.
Right.
Okay. if I want the dogs to bark, and I did this with Lady Godiva, my basset, I would shake my hand near my ear like, I can't hear you. What? You know?
That was a speak cue.
Yeah. Telemarketers would call. I would give that, oh, I gotta go, somebody's here at the door, the dog's barking.
Yes!
Perfect. And she was the type where she would bark only once unless I kept going. Classic version. That's why it's such a classic, because it's so simple. It's very basic, very simple. This is what would be considered a staple in the countryside.
Mm-hmm.
They would serve this at noontime, and then of course, when you have the big heavy crusty bread, and then you sit there with the big bowl of soup.
Well, yeah, it's the stale
and
bread.
It's nap time
you know?
afterwards, yeah. Then it's nap time afterwards. But they would make the bread in the morning, and it would be stale by afternoon because there were no preservatives.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the way to do it.
This is amazing. This is so good.
It's fabulous. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
I really am. I'm like, this is one of my dishes. Like this is one of the ones that I do, and oh my goodness, like it makes mine taste like crap.
I am more than happy to share my recipe, my love. That's one thing that you will find is I like to share. Whether it's dog training or cooking recipes, I am a sharing person.
I love it. Yeah.
You know.